welcome to the stream of Minecraft. And I'm bloody hell, the reflection, the green screen fell a bit backwards. So we are returning. I'm recording this because I want to make a time lapse. We are returning to our build of making a castle. So I think that's. I'm trying to make it as historical, as accurate as possible as I can. So it's not that historical, of course, because I will make anachronistic mistakes. I might try to do things in good faith, but you know, it's just as much I can read and do. Like, I already feel like the gate. I feel like I don't know how tall the gatehouses are, or whatever, or the sizes, or the proportions. But I've been building this castle like through the eras, so I didn't start off building this castle immediately like how we see it now, because I have a previous stream where I already showed the castle a little bit, but I built first like a wooden castle on top here, then I removed the wooden castle, I made like a moat and bailey, and I have slowly been expanding this castle and adding more bits to it. Like, I don't know how historically accurate this bit is. And by adding more and more defenses where I feel like they make sense. This gatehouse here, I feel like I should be making it a bit longer. Because, you know, it only has like one fence that can drop down, and then there is no like killing hole here. Or I could make this gatehouse a bit larger, and maybe that's what I will do. I will make this one a bit larger, so I might make it a bit backward, and I have to make it a bit larger also, because this wall I have increased in size, because I was looking at the castle, how we made it last time in the last stream, and it was a bit, let me actually put this a bit taller here, so it's a bit better. Why I'm not recording the whole Minecraft screen at the moment is just so I can do this. Because I have here like a random wheel where we can like do topics, and I can put it on screen here, and then we can like, if I run out of topics to talk about, I can spin the wheel and we have something to yap about. Or if I'm telling a story and I go all over the place with stories, I can look at the wheel and write some topics down that I need to talk about, but I am in a different yap. So game mode, spectator, because I did want to show a little bit here. As you can see here, maybe there are like little pockets underground there, and those are like archaeological remains from the previous buildings I made. So this castle has been built layer on top layer from previous buildings on top of other buildings, so there is like archaeological history. Maybe I should have just given myself a little bit of night vision, so we can show it a bit better. Night vision. And there are characters here walking around. If you can see here, working, living, and with cast armor. You should be able to talk to them, but I think the eye broke. So if I say, hi, tone, the eye is broken. And I looked already at the mod, and I should fix it one day later. But game mode, spectator, there we go. And here you can see like remains from previous buildings with clay. These are not even castle remains. These are, this was a Iron Age village I made on top of here. I made an opium, and then I removed the opium. An opium is like an Iron Age hill village of from Britain or from Gaul. And because those were made on elevated ground, it makes sense to build them here, where we also have the castle. And the reason why is because, look at this, we have a beautiful water source and well here. So, in any age, in any era, people would live here on this castle. There we go. Well, we can also take a quick look inside in spectator mode, because I did try to make an interior. As you can see here, the castle itself has more details than the walls. And the reason why is because I feel like the castle, the main keep, is kind of already finished, and I will not edit it too much, but the walls I will deconstruct, reconstruct until I have the size that I want to. And once it's all finished, I will add little details to the walls. And I've been thinking, because there is a little bit of a problem here. It's gigantically gray, the building, and I realized I have shortcomings in Minecraft. On one side, the castle looks impressive, but it looks impressive in the large size. The little details, I'm not that great at little details. Like, there's a lot to be desired. I could make the walls way better with like using different materials, but I don't know how. I have tried to experiment with it, and it fails. The roofs also of the houses, yeah, they could be better. This doesn't even have an interior here, not yet. But I don't know if this is the final size of the houses yet, so I still have to test out. This is like a little mustering ground where people can fight a little bit. Here we have the tavern. The tavern, I did try to do the most work on here. So we have here like a little basement where I try to add little details. So that looks alright. Look at the little beer mods here. Little candles. I did try to use candles where I can, because in the Middle Ages you didn't really use torches, but yeah, I do add the torches here and there. We have black horses here because Frisian horses are the best. And there we go. So now let's show the castle here. I can also go in survival, right? Creative, I mean. It feels a bit more immersive. There we go. Throw that one away. Let's drink some milk, actually, so we can get rid of the part. It's a bit more atmospheric. So I had one door first here, but the NPCs were getting stuck in it. So oh, there we have the king here, King Edmund. Hello, King Edmund. How are you doing? I should change their name, actually. Editor. So once you start talking to them, hello, Darkno. Hello, how are you doing? That the AI knows that this is a king, so we can refer to him as a king. And I was reading on the mod page that then they should also know he is the king or something. Like, at least they know in his name is the king. If we ask for the king, they know this is King Edmund. I'm not sure if I want to call him a king, by the way. Could give me a subject in chat, please. I can try to make it into a Bardcore song using AI. Call it the King Radba. Yeah, I was thinking king, but I just changed my mind. Maybe Duke Edmund. And this is for a reason I will tell people soon once I stop yapping about. I have a topic about talking about. You can use the Mark Dynasty in it's weird to say Mark, right? Because I know your name is. Replace random blocks with dark gray. Dark. Coral. That's. I'm gonna take out these blocks and we shall see where. Just so I don't forget it, I will, after giving the tour here, I will also build here. This is going to be a comma time-lapse. You can see here just like a recording up here. Like here we have recording. But I will place them here, because I don't have anything here, and I will see them, and then I will be reminded to use Coral to experiment with that. That's a good tip. Thank you, Joe. thank you. That's a great tip. I've seen it before, like in other YouTube videos, but once you have to try yourself, you kind of like lose. I feel like the tavern here is quite nice, so you can see I can build the details, but for some reason my brain just stops functioning. Like the creative well dries out after a while. Yeah. The AI already knows you. You can do about, like, I have like short stories, right? About that can become a next video about like the discovery of tool and how the Norsemen and the Lancastrians work together to find Tool. This is the throne room. This is sadly not on the server, and that's for a reason. So this is the throne room, or at least like the guest room, and you come in here. I showed it in the last thing too. And you come up here, and you see here, if you go here, there is no stairs up, and there's also no stairs up here. So you have to go across the room to go upstairs. And we have here like the knights, we have here like the hole where they can throw stones down here to kill people. Pretty cool. Nothing in the chest here. They can chill here and rest a little bit, the knights and the guards. And this is where you get guests, and the guests can prepare themselves here a little bit before they come out. And they have down here also the common room where they can eat and prepare before they meet the Lord. So they don't need to wait over here for the Lord. They can just sit here, chill with the guards before meeting the Lord. And before the guards let them in here, we have like separate rooms. And this is on purpose, because you have the guards coming in here. Tool, Tule, you write it like Tule. I have like the short story in it, in the Discord, with the short stories. Discovery of Tool. That's the in-canon way now in our main campaign how Tool is discovered. And I'm was busy. I have already recorded the audio. I'm now busy like making the recordings, like all the images, and then I have to cut them out and add memes. But here you come in, and the guards first like put you here, and they can like have a group of people waiting here in this room. They separate one person, and they can search this person, see if they have like any illegal items on them, and if they have something dangerous like weapons to assassinate the king, or I mean the duke, they can bring them down here and arrest the person in the prisons. I don't have the prisons yet here, but I also wanted to make like an forget hole here, like an oubliette. Oh yeah, paraphrasing, it's always easy to do, right? Synopsis. Like if you're gonna use AI, you could just drop the story in AI and say make a synopsis. It's short synopsis. So here we and the separation is like if you search people, you kind of want to separate them because you don't want to search a person for illegal items or dangerous items when everybody's standing together. That's like an important tip. So there you meet the Lord here. We have the flags here. We have the flags here of Asterica here from our Mea campaign. We have here the flag of the Kingdom of Caledonia. And this is supposed to be the local flag of the Lord of this land here. And if you're wondering, why does the Duke have a crown? Well, Dukes also wore crowns, okay? In some kingdoms, it's not always that they didn't wear crowns. Here we have the guards over here that sleep here in the Lord's rooms. And over here we have the Lord room here. So we here have the Duchess. I don't know if that's... I don't remember the year exactly anymore. Like, I have it recording probably, but I don't have it on hand right now in front of me. More castle gates here, and if we go here, we have a library. And this is pretty cool. Watch this. Let's place it back here. We have a story. We have actually a real fairy tale that I wrote. It's a real fairy tale. It's not finished yet. It's like the first few chapters. Actually, the main character of this fairy tale does not really appear that much in the first two chapters. I know that's really bad, but it's more actually the antagonist in the first two chapters of this book. So, there you know. I wrote a real fairy tale, Origin of Curses. I think that's really cool. I think to add lore to a world, you only not need to write like history. You need to add fantastical elements to it too, like fairy tales and other things. And as you see here, They say they learned this in a dream, so this is just as historically accurate how Romans write history. Yeah, I sadly don't know the date and time. Let's go upstairs. I forget where to go upstairs. It's a bit of a labyrinth because that's how you make them. Oh, it's the same one here. Oh yeah, just so to keep the living quarters of the fighting. So these are the living quarters for the lords and their family, and it's like separated from the rest of the castle. Just if there's like a war or a fight going on, they can blockade the door here instead of dying. So we have here the towers here, the guard towers on top of the keep. With the little flag. Oh yeah, and over here with for the guards here between the barrels, they've hidden a mug here, and they've hidden here like a little keg for beer. So the guards are drinking here at night on top here illegally, but they have to guard there. So the expansions of the castle is that I made the little houses here, and we have the tavern. We have this also blueprint. Let me get the blueprint. Blueprint here, and I can show here. Like we have the buildings here. This is the keep, the big house. This other house. This is where the workers live, like the servants' quarters. Here we have the barracks. At least one of the barracks. Apparently, one of the barrack soldiers has made a child. The children will find their own place to live once they grow up, so it's fine that there are children out here. They will populate slowly this entire castle. All the barracks, beds, more children. These soldiers have too much free time. They need to have more training. Bloody hell. Even more children. And here we have the blacksmith and the tavern here. So that's where they drink. Also, travelers come here to drink or sleep. So not all guests will sleep in the keep. They will sleep probably in here in the tavern. And the blacksmith here is like the fancy house because they are really important. But I haven't made an interior yet. Okay, let me cook. I will first drop the first in the Discord, change settings, re-upload, or maybe use the video when they found tool. I don't know yet. Yeah, have to see. Okay. So that's the castle. This is the castle at least. And you can see here, this is like a squared tower. And this is from a previous era of time. And this is from the more modern era we are in. So I used the round towers to represent the later architecture. And the square towers to represent the older architecture. And over here, I was thinking, because first I have to tell why I did changes maybe. So over here, this was really the weakest spot in the wall here. So we had the gatehouse here. This bit is new, and this gatehouse, as you can see here, the wall is really shallow, and this wall was also that shallow. And you could see the buildings behind here. So if you would place a catapult here or siege engine, you could just hit those houses from here. So I felt like this side needed to be improved. Also, this wall, there was like a little flat terrain here that you could use to attack the castle. So I need to extend the wall here, and over here I want to make a village. So I was really tempted to build maybe a gatehouse this way or a gatehouse this way. But I decided on this way, and maybe I will make the village go around the castle, so also start here. Because this flat terrain here feels more where you would make the exit of the castle. And now, having raised these walls, as you can see here, I don't want to have like an entrance from the gatehouse to the outer bailey, that we can call this place here, to the inner bailey. So the inner bailey and the outer bailey being separated. and the gatehouse being part of the inner bailey and not the outer bailey. So even if you would attack this break through this gate, you cannot go into the inner bailey because this is separated to this place, if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense yet inside, because inside there's still like this. And I want to have like this bit here, at least. Maybe be part of the outer bailey, but then there's like a top layer that's part of the inner bailey, if that makes sense. So it's all gonna be segmented. It sounds a bit more complicated maybe if I am yapping about, like, even I cannot make sense of it, what I'm saying at the moment. Yeah, I have it visualized in my brain. And then I was looking at the castle and I saw this bit here is where we have more problems with the castle. And because it is like a flat terrain, and what I have to do is I have to extend the wall out here like this. Or I could have made like this little platform, what makes it harder to place like ladders. Because if you place like a ladder, you run up here, you place a ladder, you place it up here, you come up here, and then you have like multiple layers of defenses raining arrows upon you. This is a bit of an older chronolation, so this one does not have the I forget the name. Chronolations, is it? Or matriculations. The matriculation holds here. Were the Norse and Lancastrian both Vikings? No, not really. Like Vikings in the sense of Viking being a job, right? Being a raider or an explorer. The Norsemen were invading in the main campaign. They were invading the kingdom. The kingdoms, and they invaded Lancaster from Britannia, and then the Caledonians came there to protect Lancaster, and they took it into their own kingdom. And it was like a backward and forward, because they were supposed to help the Britannians, but they didn't. So they betrayed the Britannians by taking their land from the Norsemen who invaded, and then there was like a guy named Pythias, and this guy Pythias, he was named after an ancient Greek explorer from Massilia who discovered Thule, so Iceland, and Hyperborea. So he wanted to do the same trip with a boat to far in the North Sea as his ancestor. Not his ancestor, but his namesake. And he was captured by some Norsemen in the war. But then those Norsemen treated him well, so he asked for forgiveness once he was liberated from the Norsemen. And so the Norsemen were kept safe, and together with the Norsemen after the war, they tried to get funding for doing an expedition north. And at one point they get the funding, not from the king, but from another duke, and the Duke from Lancaster, and then they go on a boat, Scandinavian boat, to the North Sea, and they discover Iceland. How do I write the name? I have the whole story in the Discord, with all the names and spellings. If we go... Let me go to the Discord, and let me pull it out here. Discord. Random stories. And yeah, let me get it. Can I get rid of the people here so I don't show the members by accident? There we go. So here, at Random Stories, we have the PDF tool. And there are all the names. Because I also don't know how to write the Greek name and the Scandinavian dude's name. Like, I looked at historical characters. I used the name of the guy who actually discovered Iceland in our timeline in the story, and I used the guy who discovered the ancient Greek Pythias, who maybe discovered Iceland. It's not yet known, but let me actually build now, alright? Because I'm yapping. So, Like, I know how to build when I'm doing not streaming. It's a bit nervous to build on stream. All right. So I've built all the towers. And to be fair, the next thing I should build is the gatehouse, and I should extend this gatehouse a bit backwards, I feel like. So let me try to do that. First of all, we should raise this gatehouse. And I also want to have like some wooden extensions over these walls. Maybe we can use that to like increase the increase the differences in blocks we use, because we are using like the same type of blocks all the time. So let's destroy this bit. And I'm gonna destroy this bit too. And we want to extend the gatehouse a bit more backwards. So let me actually think about that. So maybe let's plan it here. We remove these ones here. And this should give us like enough space, I feel like. To add like the killing hole. Yeah, we feel like the old door. I feel like we can close this one too. I'll make internal insides internals later. Let's remove this one. Let's see if this will work. This is also why I haven't decorated the walls yet, because I'm trying to figure out how to do the walls, like how to do the form first before I do the color. Like this, and maybe we can add some windows. Let's just copy the design from back here. And one of these. Like that, and then we remove them. It's a bit chaotic. Alright. So that's the thing we want to move backwards. There's also this thing, I want to maybe increase the size of the gatehouse a little bit. First, let's remove the holes here, because we will maybe close them off. And we also have these killing holes down here. Let's first remove them for a while. Let's see if we can use them later. That was pretty cool, what I think, because not making a castle at once, but slowly extending walls or improving the castle allows you to have like artifacts from previous iterations of the castle, built upon the older form of the castle. So sometimes things will stop making sense, but then I forgot why they were built that way, and I'm like, oh. Why is this way instead of making it the most efficiently? And that's because this castle is supposed to be like a castle that was here for generations, not like built in one generation. with one style. That's why we have the round towers and we have the square towers, and they don't have matriculations on these ones, on the chronolations. I took to the AI and make it shorter, and make it into lyrics, and the AI made it made it just longer. Can you not ask it then to make a synopsis? And then make it a shorter summary or something? It added more lore. What the hell, AI? What the hell? What you do not understand. Oh yeah, now I can talk. Now we are building, at least. I can also talk about random things I wanted to talk about. I have the random IDs here that I have of talking, but I think I will talk about this one, so I will remove it from the list, and I will tell you instead of selecting it, because I have an idea about this world, and this is gonna be something interesting, I think. And that's gonna allow me to do a bunch of more things, because I have many medieval games, and starting from after tomorrow, I will have a new schedule and a new like working routine that will allow me to do more YouTube videos instead of what I was be able to do now, because right now, tonight, I have my last night shift. And so a couple of days ago, I prepared for my night shift, so I was doing some late streams, and tonight is my last night shift, and then it's done. Then I will have like 1 day of recovery, and then after that 1 day of recovery, I will start making YouTube videos, editing, let's go. And it's pretty exciting and pretty cool, and I have an idea. I was thinking, I have so many games set in the Middle Ages, like Medieval Dynasty, this Minecraft world that I'm making at the moment. And when I was younger, I would love to watch like those Minecraft series where they have like a little bit of lore in the world. Yeah, so I was thinking, I have so many games that could be, but we could pretend all those games are in the same world, like they all are like in a multiverse or something, because different games representing different skills. Like I have been in the background to people in the Discord now. We have been preparing making a little town with people in the Discord pretending to be the mayor and a little bit of lore. I have the recordings of that, and I only have to make it into a video. I've waited with that because I thought that would be like an interesting video next to the main campaign video that I will be editing. And my idea is I will edit 2 videos at the same time. A shorter video and a longer video takes longer, so the main campaign video with big lore. And the shorter video, that's gonna be like the older thing. It's just words. It's the city video. So this way we can have like more lore, and if this is supposed to be like a castle that is in the same world, that's why I changed the name from King to Duke, from the character here. If this is like a castle in the same world, and there is supposed to be an AI functioning here, so I'm supposed to be able to talk to these people, but is it working? So if I say hi, yes, I have to fix it again. Like it breaks from time to time. I fixed it in the past too. Like the link is probably broken. Like the mod maker changed some things. So I was thinking I could make this world, because we have this one. Let me show you guys something. MCA admin. No, MCA editor. Let me show. I dropped my mic and my mic went off. I turned my mic back on. Hopefully I still audio. Alright, so we have the character I'm here. Fish being this and this, but look at this. I can change my size. I can change my width. I can give myself appearance in this game. So I can make myself NPC parents. So the idea is I am gonna make a village here next to the castle. And this is maybe becoming a town, maybe not. But this is gonna be like growing up in a Minecraft Minecraft, a Minecraft village, in a medieval village in Minecraft, whatever series. But the character I play, and because I will have NPC parents, I will have more parents, and I will have a relationship with those characters. And whilst I'm growing up, off the videos, I will build like new houses and like interact with those villagers and have like see what happens. Can it still be in the main video as a Viking expert? I don't know if I will have Viking experts. The next video is not gonna be a documentary, so it's not gonna be. I don't know if I need a Viking expert. It's gonna be more like a shorter story video with short stories, because it just doesn't make sense to make it into a documentary. Not a lot happens. That's my biggest struggle. For the first few hundred years, it's just civil wars and Norse invasion. So there is not much going on in the world. But I was thinking, like, I can grow up in this village, and at the same time we built like a Minecraft village, and actually it's like maybe this is gonna be survival. So this castle is not survival. This is gonna be survival, and the idea is maybe to like say, okay, I grow up here, I have children, whatever, and then my character dies, and then those children go to other games, and then we play with those children in other games. So there is like a game called Medieval Dynasty. There's another game where you play where you play different characters, so you can make your own characters. So I was thinking maybe we're gonna make like a family, and this family will play like single player games or sometimes multiplayer games, and be like characters that are inhabiting the world from the ground up. So like being like little guys that walk around. And the cool thing about this is, because you see here, I built this right now, and I can use this place also as a setting in the YouTube video. So I can use the world we are making here, the Minecraft castle. We can use as a for clips in other videos in the Maya campaign of history that we are doing. But look at that! That's like a random archaeological thing we found here. Wow! Let's bury it deeper because we don't need it. Yeah, they are the start of the medieval history. Oh, I will use my documentaries again. It's just yes, I have tried making it into a documentary, this bit. I will use for the bits after, again, documentaries, but just, how can I say it the easiest way? And it's like, there's like this whole list of events. Maybe I can get just the events list. And nothing much happens for so many hundreds of years. But really slowly. Let me go event list, Crusader Kings. Is this the event list? I don't know if this is the latest event list. No, this is not the latest event list. But we don't have it. Let me get it here. Wait a second. No, I don't have the event list at the moment here. I don't know where it is. I've saved it somewhere. It's just a bit harder to write about the last few hundred years, and after that we have like in the campaign we have like I'm talking too much about the campaign. I feel like I said it in Minecraft here. But in the main campaign we have a lot of we are playing like a game like Crusader Kings, and we played Imperator Rome, and Imperator Rome was really easy to write events because we are just in the same plot line, because we are Massilia, we are growing, we have to fight big rivals, and there are some story beats of difference, because first we have to fight Carthage, and then Romans, and then we are the strongest nation in the world, and then I spin the story that we are getting corrupted and decadent, and that's why we collapse. It's not really the reason, but you need a little bit of a narrative to to make up reasons why it collapses, right? And oh no, wait, maybe I keep it this tall. Yeah, maybe I do. And then then the last video, it's literally the end, because that's like the empire collapses. But then but then literally nothing happens. And also I remember at the time, because I also had to rewatch it now, we also didn't have the correct laws, because we converted a bit too early, so we didn't have the correct technology. And we had the whole time inheritance, so the kingdom would get split. It is kind of a little bit of a chaotic Dark Age era. Hello Flash, how are you doing? Hello. So because of all that chaos, we built a country, and then the country falls apart, gets split in two. We build a country, it gets split in two. We conquer Ireland, we lose Ireland. We conquer Britannia, we lose Britannia. So instead of focusing on the countries, because that's gonna be really, really boring, I just wrote about the characters. And maybe it's still like a documentary, but it's more based on characters and not based on countries. Their first castle crashes. Building great castle. We are now building a gatehouse here, a second gatehouse. We had the gatehouse here, but I am updating the gatehouse to be a bit better. Maybe I keep it like this, but then it's not on the same height here. Maybe I increase the height here one level. So now, because we moved this one a bit backwards, we can use this one. And this is like a hole where we can throw rocks. Yeah, it's gonna be temporary, but at one point, because we are going through all of history, right, with our games, and we have like this world map, we will have the world wars, and we will have big empires again. And then I think once you follow big empires, because big empires are slower, so let's say like the Roman Empire, it's easier to follow a story about in a documentary style. Documentary styles evolved for a reason, right? Like history documentaries. Or if you follow like the Second World War. Oh, we have to make this a little bit higher then. Oops, oopsie doopsie, oopsie doopsie. So that's it. So my videos will have different narrative styles based on what I think makes the most sense. I'm only worried that in some styles of writing and some styles of making YouTube videos, I will not be the best. Maybe some types of YouTube videos are a bit easier for me to make. I'm just better at it. So we just have to see once we come to it how it will turn out. And now we have this thingy. Yeah, the Roman Empire was what? The Mongol Empire, definitely. So, yeah. But to make more stories related to the same in-game universe is like in-game, I say multiple games. I think making this Minecraft world, making a little bit of lore story, because I did love those old Minecraft videos, you know, with Jawcast or other things, where they were running around and they were playing survival, but they also scripted little events in or little moments into the videos. So based on that, I was thinking I will, next to the castle, this is creative castle, but that's just for the landscape. We are not gonna use the resources from the castle. Yeah, the Kings of Generals, yeah, definitely, yeah. But I have to say, the Kings of Generals bits, I think the Kings of Generals are really good at telling the battles and the big movement of countries, but once they talk about the political intrigue, it's a bit harder to follow, because it's a bit harder to do that with like abstractions, because looking at a battlefield map, you abstract away the units, you make them into like little squares with a little cross on it or stuff like that, or little spears. But if you do that with political intrigue, you're just looking at it. Wait, so Robert of Artois did that, and he had fights with his aunt, but his aunt looks the same as this other person of Valois. Wait, what? So I lose track with the Kings of Generals when they're talking about the political intrigue, because but the later videos I've watched it, they do use more like instead of just using the characters, they use like drawings of the characters with like a background, and I think that's better, because then your brain automatically links it to the scene and the characters instead of random faces that get abstracted away. Yeah, all plays move, lose personal motivations, and floor and see, and yeah, it's complex. So I hope, yeah. So I don't know. This is a lot of speculation, and I have to see how I can do it myself also. So I have to look how good I will be in this matter. Okay, this is also what we have to change. I'm way better in building, but just talking and building makes me become chaotic and all over the place. Yeah, the drawing sheets. So what I was thinking to do in the next video, the mega campaign video where we do the history, is not to, because it's gonna be shorter stories, I will not tell everything from above. So when you tell from above, like I'm telling now, and you're talking about history, the problem that happens is that I also abstract away, so I make it a bit more abstract. I just talk about the names and the characters, what they do. So I think showing the political intrigue, so instead of telling you this character betrayed this character, I will show a scene where the character betrays that character, or murders that character, or meets this character. I will use like my talking and my summarizing to talk about big wars and big events and stuff like that. Jack Rackmack is another history channel that makes easy to follow drawings, namely history, drawings, and cutouts. Yeah, and what I do think what the benefit is when you watch those channels too and other things is that I just watch Kings and Generals or other channels because I do like the history a little bit. Well, I am not a history expert, you know, for that. Just more like I like it. And I am fine that I know that you know the intrigues and the political intrigue is just harder, but I just watch through it. I'll survive it. Yeah, humanizing it, that does, because I was listening to how to write stories, books, and probably people know about this show and not tell. And then also I read I finished except for the last book now, but the last book I don't know, it's a bit the about the French. I keep calling it the Iron Crown, but that's the first book in the series. The Iron Crown books. The Accused Kings. Yeah, I was thinking Serpent King for some strange reason. So look at that little artifact from when the castle was somewhere else. I will keep that mistake in there because that gives it a little bit archaeological history. I was listening to it, and of course it's a book, and the guy did amazing research, but he also humanized the characters really well, I feel like, in the book. So I want to take that also, like I want to use that, and I want to like portray the characters a little bit the same way as in the books, in the game. In older text too. Oh, sorry, it's a bit. Men Kids Wars books has that problem. It is one of the older texts that tells more about show a lot. It's a sci-fi novel about humans fighting tiger aliens. Oh, oh yeah. It's cool. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like I like history, and that's why I'm able to listen to it, I think, and then I accept that it is like that. But if you are not interested in history, it gets harder. Because you have to get through you have to go through the dry material a little bit before you can go through the epic stuff. This looks fine. Yeah, that is true. They don't explain it so much, eh? My little brother is right now studying for history teacher. This will sound really bad, but not all the students that are learning history are learning to be history teachers. No history, apparently. They just do it as a course, and they don't know much about like Sumerians, or they don't know much about like they know the basic history, right? That they say, oh, the Stone Age, the Neolithic, they don't even know Paleolithic because that's what they say prehistory because they did it right, so we don't look at it. Then they gloss over the Greeks. They go immediately into the Romans a little bit. then the Middle Ages, quickly into the Renaissance, because apparently that's where history starts. They forget everything else. And world gets conquered by Europeans. I'm talking, of course, from the European point of view, right? And in the Netherlands also, the country started after 1600, so we in the popular class, they completely ignore like the Holy Roman Empire, the whole thousands of years of medieval history, and you just say, oh, there were cities, there were castles, and there were kings, and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, not every school, like there are schools where you do learn it, but I'm just talking what my little brother is telling me, that history teachers know about history before they start history. Not all of them, of course, but there are people that just don't just know, like, they just know a little bit from the Second World War, or a little bit after 1600, and that's it. Oh, I did get Holy Roman Empire, but these are history teachers. And now it makes a little bit more sense, because I sometimes, I remember, and this would be so frustrating if people know how frustrating this is. You know, you would casually meet somebody and they would say the most weirdest stuff ever about history. I will try to think of an example later. You see, show and not tell. And I would be like, why do you believe this? And they say, because my history teacher told me. And I was like, well, your history teacher is wrong. Yeah, but he's an authority in history. I'm not going to believe you. But I can look it up on the internet. And it's wrong. And I got so annoyed that there were so many people that just said they believed this happened because their teacher told them, or at least they remember the teacher told them this fact about history, and that's why it is fact. And now I hear from my little brother, who is studying to become history teacher, that there are just rubbish history teacher students. So my history teacher was pretty good, by the way. I'm not bashing on all history teachers, but if those are the qualifications in my country, bloody hell. Gloss over the Spanish Empire, but cover it too. Yeah, we do the Spanish Empire a bit more, because we became independent from the Spanish Empire. So we completely ignore the Holy Roman Empire, but do the Spanish Empire. I have never learned from history classes in the Netherlands. I had one of the classes, and that was almost my school years. Fishbeak, I posted the SOG and tool in the Discord. Ooh, let's go, that's pretty cool. Oh, I got one. I got talking about ex-girlfriends. Was it ex-girlfriends? Well, I can complain about that. But she once came with the theory that she just said casually, like, nothing bad about her. She didn't mean anything bad, you know, because that's what they got from in school. They came with the theory that Homo sapiens, so the Homo sapiens, humans, are a different. They became a different subspecies from Homo sapiens once they started farming. So when they were hunter-gatherers, they were a different species or subspecies. Well, she said species. Then when they start farming, that we completely evolved into a different species. And I'm like, wait, what? But not everybody in the world did farming, you know. Still don't do farming. and I was like, this doesn't really make sense. Who told you this? My history teacher. Ah. And I said, that's not true. Well, I trusted the history teacher more than apparently me, who is not a history teacher. Well, okay. Partly. Yeah, you know, it's not wrong. So I don't know if it was the history teacher or something else, because the human physique has changed, yes, but humans didn't become a different species, you know. So I also think there's a little bit of Chinese whispers game going on, that somebody hears a fact, they're paying half of attention, and then they suddenly believe that we are a separate species that, you know, yeah. No, humans did change physically when they start farming, you know, that is true. But it's problematic because humans were hunter-gatherers when they spread around the planet. And it means that the people who were disconnected from the farmer societies are different species, according to what was said, right? So it isn't that all those bits of information aren't usually completely wrong, but the half-truths make it a bit more wilder, the theories. Yeah. So it's technically not completely wrong. So, uh, it could be that the teacher said something else. They heard something else. It could also be, apparently, how my little brother is telling me how history teachers are educated in this country. It could be that this history teacher learned it, and then because this isn't something you have to practice for in the exam, he just dropped it as a random bit of trivia. Because there is like they just practice, at least they still do it, that you just have to know these bits of information, you have to know these core terms, and once you know these core terms, you pass your exam. You know the dates, the core terms, and that you're done. So you do, if you and all those extra bits of information are just like flavor to add more interesting, but those bits of information are just us watching YouTube videos. Who I also watch YouTube videos, and YouTube videos you also, people sometimes don't look correctly at the sources, and they are a bit like wild. uh, but there are many other things, like, because I don't know if this is true, by the way, but there are these people in the Pacific who 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 go underwater, and they go for fishing, and so they dive underwater with spears, and they live like a nomadic on boats. And I don't know if that's because they trained their whole life, or because this gene shifted a tiny bit, that they have a larger lung capacity. So, but that's also an interesting fact. But if I told you guys right now, right? Oh, these people have a larger lung capacity, and they could have shifted genes, even that I don't know the facts. And then I'm a history teacher, or I'm like an anthropology teacher, and then later you tell other people that, and they say you said there are completely different species of humans there because their genes are a little bit different. Sorry, I'm catching up. We have to change chasing and things exhausting during we also have worse teeth, partly to agriculture and refined sugar. Yeah, true. I've learned from minimum men that's my basic school teacher from the one time that I had history hour. So yeah, I do remember also something I learned in biology that was wrong. Not completely wrong, but that I remember the teacher telling me, and it wasn't correct. uh, Completely, and that's the fact that about fish not having bones. Yeah, it's true. Not all fish have bones, but there are fish that have bones. But my teacher told me fishes don't have bones. None of the fishes have bones. Like sharks use dental instead of bones for their structure. But that little bit of information, I don't know if I should place like castle correlations on this side of the wall. But I do feel like on this side is fine. But I'm not sure. This just looks weird. Oh, well, I learned from my teacher that plants don't feel anything, which isn't true. They feel just different than all other life. Yeah. Teachers who keep learning in their field are worth their weight in gold. Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. But you should keep learning, yeah. But also hard. Like, I met my IT teacher, and he also was like asking me many questions about IT, because he said like he also said once you start teaching, it's really hard to keep track of all the latest updates in IT. Even if you... So, that's a teacher who is trying. He is good, by the way. I do remember him being good, so it makes sense that he was asking questions. How to improve as a teacher when he found me. He also liked to play Stellaris and all those Paradox games. So, of course, if you hear that, you are like, that's a good teacher. You know immediately that's a good teacher if they like those types of games. Yes, standard is usually a federal standard, and some states have specific courses. It's all about learning. If you fail to do that, then you feel alive. I don't remember where I heard it, but I also heard like if you stop learning after that you're 25, it becomes really hard to learn because of your brain, you know, getting stuck into a rhythm or into a cycle. So after you become 25, it might be really important to force yourself for a bit to keep learning, to to actually do lessons online and stuff like that. Do some mathematics, do some things you think, nah, I don't want to. Just so that your brain doesn't lose the ability to learn. I don't know for how long you have to do that, probably your whole life, but just a little bit of a tip I heard somewhere. You can't bring the brain deep up here. Because you can lose the ability to learn. That sounds really scary, to be fair. Or be good at learning. Definitely to do maths. People who can't do it on the spot. Yeah, maybe it was something like that. The person that said about reading might keep reading. Oh yeah, I also remember something else. About US history. Let me talk about US history. Maybe this is common knowledge in the United States. Abraham Lincoln! When Abraham Lincoln was like a young student studying law, not some president or whatever, he was struggling with the study. He returned home, and he was like, bloody, I don't know if I can do this. And when he returned home, he had like a book about Euclid's geometry, you know, with lines, parallel, triangles, that stuff. And he returned home from his study. He did his I don't know, he did this from I don't know how schools worked in that time, if it was high school, elementary, whatever. But he did his he used his mathematics book that he used when he was younger, and he started doing the maths again. And he had said apparently that this is also maybe like, I don't know so how true this is. This might be a myth, you know. I don't have the facts here. I'm streaming it. People can Google it. But he every time in his life when things became a little bit difficult, he returned to the basics and he started doing like basic mathematics again and again and again to keep his brain clear and focused. So he wouldn't do like the difficult of the most difficult, but he would return to basic mathematics. And that's crazy to think about it if you think about a lawyer, but he said that mathematics helped him think logically, to think about consequences and other things. So that's something. So learning doesn't mean you have to keep learning and become more difficult mathematics. It's just that you keep practicing. That silly thing they keep telling, you know, practice the maths. Do a little bit every day. Let me read the chat a little bit. Yapping. I can't do it on the spot, but man, it's sad because of my mind. More than 120 thoughts per second because of my ADD. True, my granny stopped early and it's hard to learn new things. Yeah, it's not necessarily mathematics, but it worked for this Lincoln dude. I heard he did some things, this Lincoln dude. I don't know exactly what he did after he graduated law. He did something, you know, but... He's one of my favorite presidents now for a lot of reasons. Because of his funny hat. Oh, because he did a funny hat thing. Yeah, of course. That's it. He's not the most popular when he was alive, but he loved him now for those reasons. That's fun. Also, his beard, definitely. Yeah, he was like a bit like, I know how to do it. And after they are gone, they're like, oh yeah, that's pretty great. I heard that Lincoln did speeches, yeah. Yeah, pretty great dudes. Like, even that Europeans talk about him, right? Like, I don't think we get a lot of U.S. history, but we do get about Lincoln. We get he gets his he got his whole chapter and his whole part. Like, I think they talk more, if I remember correctly, about Lincoln than about the Civil War. Like, oh yeah, they had the Civil War too. Ah, destroyed history there. I destroyed an artifact. Oh, bloody hell. Let's bury it a bit deeper. Oh, the Teflon NATO leader. There we go. Should there... Oh, bloody hell! Somebody lost their house. Okay. I must say, the gatehouse being a bit thicker does feel a bit better defendable. McMoss. Who I despise. Who is this? McMaster Company is a private American supplier for hardware, tools, raw materials, industrial. Is this like for studying? Was it Lincoln the great-grandfather not from the Netherlands, or did I just make this up? Could be. Like, many people from New York were from the Netherlands, so if you had relatives from New York... A bad politician. Ah, I see, yeah. Just like... I see. I see what's going on here. uh... Okay, now we have to... So, there are no little details here, so I don't have, like, shooting holes from here. Oh yeah, we have to make this here. Let's increase the walls to a higher height. Yeah, it is possible, yeah. Like, people from the Netherlands are next to the water, so many of them, even if they're... Even not Dutch colonies alone, but they would also, like, just be hired to be on ships or be, like, sailors. So, they would be part of many other seafaring ventures. There we go. Still looks a little bit weird, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure either, but I thought one of the Americans who know it better than me. Americant. Americant. Oh, sorry, American. I do wonder, how many Americans are we related to? I found a YouTube channel of my apparently family members in America who moved to America. Like not directly family, like people who have the same last name, but there are not many people with my last name, so it's highly probable they are my family. And it was something else. It was something else. The YouTube channel I found. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a nice old dude. Yeah, I just said hi, nice. Oh, I didn't know we had family members in the United States in his comments, like to be like nice and polite, and not talk about other things. But he made like family vlogs or other cool vlogs about things he does like in life. But he also has a vlog, and of course, I'm completely convinced now. Inflatable Earth theory. That the Earth tectonic plates... that the Earth... The tectonic plates don't move around. No. The Earth is inflating like a balloon. That's why the continents fit. Of course, I'm completely convinced now. I didn't think that was possible. So, yeah. The old president that I know are Lincoln and that old dude. That his parents were Dutch. Was there not like a president called Van Buren or something? I bet he was Dutch. Or Belgium. European and Caribbean mostly. Mom side is 100% American. Andrew Jackson was our craziest president. Native. James Porker was a warmonger. Oof. Yeah, war. And not 100% native. E. No, 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 no. Now, African American, so partly. I do want to do also for myself a DNA test, just because of my my mother. Because my mother is also from the continent called America, not the country, United States. But from Guatemala, but also not entirely there, but also she did do a DNA test. Well, my aunt did do a DNA test, and from my mother's side, and they are mostly like Irish, and then a huge mix of a lot of different things. At least that's my aunt, and that's really interesting also. So I just wonder, because every child, doesn't get like the whole DNA stuffies. So I don't know how much I still have of that giant mix of randomness. So I thought it would be cool to do a DNA test, Partly German Jamaican. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. According to Reddit, my family has lived in Turfhausen since the Stone Age. Turf. Pete Hausen, if you would translate what turf is in English. Your family is from peat houses. Peat being that stuff, right, that you burn from the ground. That those plants that are buried for a long time. Because my aunt had something really cool. Really, really weird, and we don't know where it's from because we don't have any family stories. But there might be a chance that my mom doesn't have it, and then even if my mom has it, that I don't have it. And that's Vietnamese. My aunt is 1% Vietnamese, so I have already joked that I am 1% Vietnamese, but I don't know. Could be true, could not be true. I don't know how much of that DNA I still have left. But there's no family story or anything about it, where that 1% Vietnamese came from. Like, there's just this random 1% Vietnamese. There was this one random sailor in 1800 that just went across the world or something, I don't know. He did something. Yeah, my dad was from Germany, and he had relatives who came to colonize to Jamaica. Yeah, Pete, I forgot. During World War II, I tried coming to America, but he had to return to travel to his shows in Jamaica. Your aunt has blue skin. No, that. He talked about it. Much to talk about it. It is so he didn't talk. Who knows? Maybe it was some random merch or sale. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it was a pirate. Who knows? A Vietnamese pirate. I did like when I was a child to play in the forest. I'm just joking. you probably know, right? When some people learn about their ancestry, they they suddenly are like, but I always liked potatoes. When they discover they're partly Irish, I don't know. I don't think we have those funny reactions that much in Europe when we learn about that. Would be funny. It's just because the countries aren't that large in Europe. If you look at the map, we always are related from somewhere else a little bit. So you just look at the map like, oh yeah, they were there in that corner, when they came from this corner. Yeah, I'm a pirate. Maybe 1% Vietnamese goes for millions of times step people have a failure in Asia. It could be true, but I just like the pirate story, okay? Let me be a pirate. Let me be a pirate, alright? I wanna be a pirate, okay? I am a pirate. One of the greatest pirates ever. The greatest pirates. Step pirate. Yes, step pirates. They say hid his treasure somewhere in the Caribbean. Who knows if it got found? Yes, there is an ancient treasure legend in the Caribbeans that I totally know. I'm not making up at the moment because it has been said in chat, and chat never lies. Yeah, the Brits, the bloody Brits. Gratis means free, the free pirate. After he refused to tell them where he hid it. Yes, so the hidden treasure of the... If you just because it's in my DNA, it's in my genes, I know subconsciously about the treasure. And the more you watch this channel, the more you will get subconscious information about where the treasure is hidden. Just so you know. And, you know, I'm way too far away in the Netherlands, so I can never get this treasure. But everybody should watch this channel, because you might never know. You might appear in the Caribbean, and then subconsciously, you are being told by your brain, the treasure is right there. And this works the best if you rewatch my videos over and over and over and over and over in perpetuity forever. Okay, that's the best way to get this subconscious message of it, where the treasure is hidden. It's all facts. I'm not making this up. You can just trust me, like how much people trust history teachers. Just trust me, alright? Believe me. I'm an authority on this information. I don't even have a record of my family, so I can't even find records. My great-grandfather. Ooh, well, you can do the DNA test. The only thing why I haven't done like a DNA test is because I don't know how the privacy, how well it is, and I don't know, and I have to do better research in it to figure out if I want to do a test like that. Maybe someone will find treasure out there. If they do, really, I guess it took for the... Granted, my dad's side is obsessed with family trees. My mom is more informational about it. His name was Jan Bakker. I say Jan like I'm in an English accent. What? Jan Bakker, and his dad's name was Jan Bakker, and his dad's name was Jan Bakker, and still, so you can go across Hendrik, and then another Jan. They all farmers, so no records. I have an idea. Maybe before they were farmers, they were bakers. Supposed DNA test in my family. Doing it piecemeal style on both sides. Yeah, that got to make it hard to fight info. Good luck. Mine is pretty easy to find my dad's side, because my dad's side, yeah, they were from the old Frisian families, the old Frisian dudes that did old stuff. They even have a coat of arms. I feel like I'm bragging. I like, oh, look at this. My family had a coat of arms things showing off. But it is true. It's also really cool at the same time. Wait, I did add the correlations to this thing. So let's add them here too, because now this one looks weird. But it feels cool to have like old towers too and newer towers. I will keep it like this one here. Mercenaries, so that's something. Like in what time mercenaries, because that also adds a lot of flavor. My mom is sharecroppers and soldiers from well, bragging on us with your fancy coat of arms. It is from yeah, from the Crusades even, the coat of arms, because it has like a symbol on it that also that you only could get if you went to fight in the Crusades. And also there are some records that they fought in some Crusades, but I don't like how spotty those records are. Like, they have the heraldry, right, that they went... Or, I mean, the icons. You don't call actually the shield the coat of arms, but that's how we use the popular terms, so that's why I'm referring to it as coat of arms. But they have like a moon, and you can get it like that. But the records, at least the records online, don't really. They are not really that well sourced. It is probably that they went on a crusade, but I don't know if it is how it is described online. It might be different, just because the records are. I don't like how spotty the records are. 1780 mercenaries. Ooh, that's interesting. So with the muskets, they stopped late 18th century after buying a bunch of land and settling down. Before that, they took lots of contracts. So it wasn't like this like big mercenary band then. Ooh, like this have like a cool name. It was more like a family thing, joining different mercenary bands. Grandma's words. Oh. There we go. Okay, let's build out this gatehouse now. So, I was thinking, maybe we extend this gatehouse, maybe we don't. Because right now we do have the holes here, and we can throw down things from this holes on people that come here and... But we cannot really do that here, but I feel like that would be a lot of extra work to extend it a little bit backwards, and then it would overlap with this one. I can also make it a little bit forward. Just like a potluck with guns and swords. Oh. Ooh. I know that the mercenary bands became really big at the late Middle Ages and the Age of Muskets, but then they also, after the later parts of the Age of the Muskets a little bit, they became a little bit out of fashion. At least in Europe. I don't know about the rest. Let's at least make the inside here. So we have this gatehouse here, but I don't want it to be accessed. I don't know if I should. I want the first level of the gatehouse to be accessed from this side, And I want the top side of the gatehouse to be accessed from this side. So we could break through here and use this as this level. Yeah, after 70, I will look at the previous message from Dark Noob because he said to look at. After 70 hours of not finding any records, not even my own father's, I have given up. The records are of me. I have been in the newspaper multiple times, in the local news. So yes. Yeah, so it's something that aren't even records of my father, only that he has been born. And there aren't records of me as he last message with his world. My granny's cousin didn't even have a birth record due to the local area having poor record keeping. So she got a birth record last year after fighting for a while. That's wild to you. Yep, when you got no records on the system is reluctantly to help you. You did. Let me actually also already have my family stuff here. Let me show my ancestor stuff. So it's not that big of a family, but that's my last name. Little bit of not exactly, by the way. We spell it a little bit different. And if you go the further back you go, the different you spell it in different ways. So yeah, they have like a Wikipedia page and stuff like that, and we don't have anything anymore from this family stuff. So we are like normal people, by the way. I don't live in this house, okay, or in this house. The normal house grew up. So, but it is pretty cool to have like these answers. And this moon here is the thing that you get after the going to the Crusades, or else you were not allowed to have it on your heraldry. But these families didn't really. It isn't the same as in the other medieval histories, or this is even what you see now is from the 1600s. Coat of arms toxic. These coat of arms are actually from what did I want to say? The coat of arms are a little bit from No, that's not what that. Oh, the families, yeah. They were Frisian families, so the Frisia. So my family is from this place where I live. I grew up for a long time, and they didn't really have in the Middle Ages peasants. They didn't do peasants. They only had free people living in their land. So and they weren't rich. They would go more like fighting in wars, and they did own land. They were landowners, but they didn't like own castles. They didn't really have castles here in the Middle Ages. Maybe some fortifications or a tower, but not really a big castle. So they a better comparison would be maybe like clans, like a Scottish clans maybe. If you want to use some comparison with more pop with other history. Oh, that does get stuck to the. Maybe like this then. You don't really see it, but then it's not connected. Grab me your mail. Okay. Oh wait, I knew some facts about your family. Sucks, then I forgot them. Stadshouders. Greetmen, I think they became. Don't think we became Stadshouder. Or is your family? Did my family become Stadthouders? That's something I don't know about. Because that's something really cool. Oops. There we go, slowly building this castle. Oh, Stadthoud. No, I didn't mean Stadthouders. The Stadthouding, how the period is from, yeah, like 1600. I don't know if they had Stadthouders at the end of the Middle Ages. Now I can probably find it here. What the they were in the. Oh, it's not even. You know, this is so small. Also, it is like it's like a barony in Crusader Kings, because if I just pull it out here, there is no English. There is no English here. We could do it in German, Afrikaans, or we could do it in Frisian. So it's such small things. But this dude, he bears us Grietman. Grietman's. By the way, I am not related to the paternal line. I am related to this guy with the matrilineal line, because my family line was like an older cousin from him, and later one of his children of the daughters married again with my line, so I'm not even related directly from the matrilineal line to this dude. Not Y chromosome related. But you can see here. Oh, it's probably. I don't know what Grietman is in field typology. Yeah, maybe that's it. But he was like a lawyer for the whole province or something. He was like the final court or some, and then he also became like a diplomat and fight in the wars. And he was something with John Churchill or something. Yeah, John Churchill, this dude. So they kissed or something. No, they didn't kiss. They might have, you know, they might have. Just took a while. What I'm yapping about. Okay, we have to get up here. We can also turn this little corner in like a little staircase house, like a little thing that goes round and round. Like this. God, that's pretty. Yes. Coevorden dynasty from Drenthe. All right. I do have a question about the Drenthe. So I have a question about Drenthe. So I have been a couple of times like to Drenthe, to Meppel, and I've gone out there, you know, to the nightlife, but every time I have been out in Drenthe, going out in Drenthe, there is a fight. People are fighting and hitting each other. Is that a thing that happens a lot in Drenthe? Is it? Is that a thing? We don't sleep in Hunneberg. Oh yeah, that was my other question. Wait, sounds like the state capital of my state, for real. Meppel. Or Drenthe. Or the Hunebedden. Yeah, that was I was told too. I was told that those are the people from the villages always going out in the... that are like fighting. Apple is so different from where I live, so I can't really say for sure. Alright. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, us village boys do the fighting. Alright, that's different, because I don't think... Like, I'm also from a smaller place. I guess not that small, but compared to this larger cities, right? And we only had like one dude. We had one dude who did the fighting. There was this one dude. The worst thing is, I'm gonna go doxing a little bit, but this dude was in primary. It was in my primary school, in my class, for a little bit. And he is the one that gets or got kicked out of all the bars. And is not allowed to go in there anymore. That's why I said it's past tense. Not that he is dead. He's still alive, I think. Don't meet the dude. He had issues also in primary school already, kind of. So, but yeah, he would get into fights with way too many people. I have been in fights before, and I won. Of course you win, because you're a dark noob. In this, you watch the one and only Fishbig channel, and the Fishbig channel gives you superpower, super strength. Everybody that watches the Fishbig channel knows about tactics, knows about how to fight war and how to defeat their enemies. Only strong people watch the Fishbig channel, nothing weak. How shall we do this? One going down here. Oh wait, I didn't read lazy chat. Oh, they fight whose cow ran into their lawns or knock out their fences. I am almost 2 meters long, a bulking dude, so I don't get hits. They got farmers bank and they pay one and off. Nah, we don't have here. We hate the bank. Like I was screwing over far, so have them eat. It sounds familiar, but that's those resentments against the government. The one thing that unifies the country, isn't it? Not always. Like in Overijssel, I went to Overijssel and I loved the government there. The absolute strangers. Absolute strangers. They loved the government. Could you imagine? Who the hell does that? Talking about not following the national spirit by loving the government. Had a dude who kept wanting to fight me and kept talking bad, so I got together with a few buddies, destroyed his car totally kaput, destroyed, so he couldn't drive for 5 months. And then it stopped, deserved. F over. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What the hell? What the... this... People there, alright, it's not only one person. See it with multiple people. They put the royal family on TV, and they're like, yes, watch royal family. Or, we got banks, and they got farmer banks. Farmers banks only take farmers as customers. Big hello, nature sucks. What the hell? We have an iron golem down here. What are you doing here, sir? Okay, this is now the cave golem. Cave golem, the legendary cave golem. There we go. Hidden cave golem. So, I wanted to say something. Yeah, they put on the TV the royal family. Watching the royal family, and not only one person. I have seen multiple people do that. And there was this whole law that they wanted to bring out about they have the law already, that it gets legal to spy upon people. Fish talking politics here, but there was this law, right, that the government had less restrictions on spying on people. And it's called the slave vet. And there was like the students organized because they looked at the law and they were like, oh wait, this is kind of dangerous. Because who knows, the government in maybe 50 years or maybe in 100 years might become more evil. Maybe the government is already a bit bad, but if it becomes worse and they have this law, they can do a lot of bad things with this law. So students organized, they made a referendum, they got the signs, they did a referendum. People voted against the law. The majority of the country said we don't want to give the government more spying power. Then I was in Overijssel then, because around that time I had maybe a girlfriend around that place. I know how it sounds. I am gonna make my apology video in a while, but but I was there, and everybody was like telling, you should trust the government. They only will spy on bad people. They will never do anything evil. Everybody was saying that, and I was like, no, that doesn't sound great. To be spied on, you know? That sounds like a bad thing. And yeah, end of the story. The government ignored the referendum and then made a whole drama how referendums are evil and bad and are dangerous, and they wanted to make it harder to make future referendums. So, yeah, the law has passed. They can spy more easily on people now. So, hello, government agent person that's watching me. And this all happened legally, even, like, technically. But let me read. I also drove the tracker across the multiple times. The farmers are in business banks, farmers, regular customers. They also use less restrictions. Spying is always bad. I mean, who doesn't have a crappy government now? The Dutch land Rabobank meant for farmers to have, but the government got involved, and now the farmers have nothing. Trust me, it's once never stopped. I mean, sorry, it's that tribal people in Amazon rainforest doesn't have this government. Fair point. Is to remove bad elements. Hello, Agent Smith. Please don't put a worm in my belly button Matrix reference here. The whole Netherlands, except Groningen and South Friesland and Drenthe, can drown. Yeah. You know, I saw the voting, you know, and it was like also, it was like Drenthe, Groningen, Friesland was like, we don't want this law. Everybody, like in the northern regions, was like, yeah, we don't want the government to give the government more spying power. Like, everybody was against it. But beyond that point, I'm gonna make a statement here also about that, because Fish does politics here on the channel. We did something like this as a mistake in the past too. We gave our private information, and this is sponsored by NordVPN. But before the Second World War in the Netherlands, they wanted to register like people's religious views, ethnicity, and whatever in passports, because they thought it would be really cool. There was no real reason, so they did like a whole survey. They asked everybody to give their information and what they believed and what they identify as on paper. That absolutely cannot go wrong, right? Because people were saying, we trust the government. The government is never gonna do anything evil with that information. Second World War happens. No Germans cross the border, take over the country, and look at this well-documented information about the population and thank the Dutch government like, that's pretty nice. Thank you. That makes lots of easier to target certain groups, to send them to special camps. We're covering all the politics. Yeah, I'm doing just Dutch politics. I don't think it's that controversial just because the Netherlands is a small country, so technically I can yap all I want about it. What are they gonna do? Cancel me to yap about Dutch politics. It's more informational at the same time. Mostly ignored part is always the part is the best part to live in the right fish. Yeah, that's true. Yep, but that's bad. It always allows more profiling. As an American, we can learn a long time. We can't trust the gov with too much info. Yeah. So we improved the gatehouses in the stream. Technically, the insides look rubbish, but I feel like I have now an idea how I want to do it, and I feel like I also feel I built way more when I am using my tunnel vision to build here. It's more practice to learn to build in Minecraft and talk a yap at the same time, because You do learn. You learn skills when you stream. You do learn. You improve your. I improve my reading louder skills. I feel like while streaming. Just because of dyslexia, I never try to read loudly because I didn't need to in school. They always. I got that nice exception. I could use it as an excuse not to read out loud, but. But on stream, I do want to, and I do like reading, you know. And I do feel like I have gotten better reading out loud. That sounds so weird because that feels like something a child does. But yeah, I feel like I got better, and I can now do like voices and a little bit of voice acting while I'm reading out live. So hell yeah. Honestly, I need to break from the EU and the Netherlands. With Friesland, Groningen, Drenthe. Yes, let's start making a new... Let's make like a new... freedom. Let's go a new Frisian freedom or a new Northern freedom. Let's not build a wall. Let's make a canal because we have so many canals in the Netherlands. And we just separate from the mainland. We're gonna make our own glorious islands. The sea will be our defense. Fishing 2021. Yes, we will build the biggest canal, the best canal, and we will separate from anything. Our own rules, our own things. And then we just claim more land from the sea and it will be glorious. Annex the whole bloody North Sea. Okay. I do also think it's cool if we just go and build that island until we reach Scotland, and then we let Scotland join, because who doesn't like Scotland to be part of it too? Because that would be really cool. Because then our music will be really cool also. The Northlands, yes, we're gonna make the Northlands. The North Sea Alliance. That's a faction in a not so popular game, Civ Beyond Earth, but North Narnia for Narnia. Let's go. I actually have, when I was a child, I made up a country, a kingdom in the Middle Ages. I would do stuff. I'm gonna. I have to stop soon anyway, so I will stop the recording here and I'll quit. And I'm gonna draw it here. I'm gonna take Google Maps. And I'm gonna draw something here on the map here. As a child, I made this country up, alright? I think it's really cool. It's really cool. Alright. There we go, the drawing. And then we open this. So, I made up a kingdom that I called... And you have maybe seen in the Mega campaign too, if people watch the Mega campaign or who were watching the VOD later. He did... I named it Belgium. Oh yeah, that's also one. But I made a kingdom that I called Denmark, and Denmark would be like a kingdom that was like in between Denmark and the Netherlands from the name. Look at that, looks like a giant Friesland. But it was like this. And it had islands here. And there was another larger island here, I forgot. And there was like a river going from here to the whole country. And actually, this whole thing represented my house where I grew up in with my little brothers. Because what we would do is these were our rooms, the different provinces in the kingdom. So we had like somebody's across the river would be the hallway, and we would use boats to go from one place to the other. And this would be like the living room. This would be the hallway from the living room. This would be like one of my little brother's room. This would be one of their rooms. And another room here. And I would be the islands here. And I had like this This would be my bed. It was like a mountain. Here were my boxes of toys, and then I would make a wall here from Legos, and I would build like a city here between the bed and the boxes. So, and the harbor was here, and then people could come here from the river, and they would come here and they would trade. So this was like the kingdom of Den Erk. A browse game where you can make your own stage, choose your decision for it. I like it. Yeah. So this is where we would play like a. Oh yeah, this is water. I don't know why I did this round thing around it, but yeah. So that was pretty cool. I do remember it, and it's like that's why. In the Crusader Kings campaign, I renamed this one as a little Easter egg for myself to Denmark instead of Denmark. Just, you know, alternative history, so maybe they just use the name a little bit different. Yeah, I need... But thank you for watching. I have to go also now. I have to do my last night shift. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you later. Let's see if somebody else is streaming that I know of. Alright. Monday, Celeste is giving Minecraft stream, but she's not streaming at the moment. And Mages is not streaming today, so... Okay, so Celeste probably later. You can check the channel out. People probably know in chat. Let me get the tag. I don't have the tags ready. Like Celeste always has the tags ready for everybody. She always drops them, but I don't. It's really bad of me. Celeste stream. Also Minecraft. So you have more Minecraft in total. There you go. Wait, is it this week the Minecraft collab? Oh no, this is Gartic Phone, 8 PM EST, alright. Or, yeah, East Standard Time. Yep. There we go. Thank you for watching. I don't know what time the stream starts. I don't know. I cannot do the conversion in my head here from US time zones, whatever. But thank you for watching. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Bye-bye. Stay over it.